Hello, this is Richard from Precision Transmissions. What we've got is a customer's 2005 6.0 with a 4R100 tranny with a converter problem with not wanting to move in the morning, and come in with a TPS code and a converter clutch slippage code. If you notice here, the transmission has been built before because this is an aftermarket torque converter, but you can see the band right here where it burnt the clutch in the torque converter right here. See? Well, with that TPS code like that, this clutch was probably pulsating on and off and causing this clutch or torque converter to overheat and burnt this clutch plumb out of it right there. So anytime you have a TPS code on a diesel, you want to address it really quick. But you can see it just cooked it. So let's get this out. This tranny stinks really bad, has a lot of burnt fluid, you can see it.
A little bit of metal, yeah. Y'all see that?
You can just see that band where it cooked it right there. Now this transmission, being that it's a 2-wheel drive and it's a 3500 series, the speed sensor's in the rear end and they just put a plug here. So normally there could be a speed sensor here, or if you had a 4-wheel drive with a transfer case, it would be in the transfer case. So let's get this apart and see what type of damage we have. This is your neutral safety switch here. Whenever you put it in park, neutral, or reverse, this switch right here is what works when you move your shifter. Let me get this off here. If you ever replace one of these switches right here, what you do is you put this shifter right here in neutral, and then you line these two lines up right here. See these two lines right here? You line them up, and then you tighten these bolts down right here. But you put the transmission in neutral, and that's how you install that.
Sorry, no one's taking the leak. We just got some draining going on.
Now this here is the parking assembly on this tranny right here. When you move the shifter, get that back on there. You can see this right here work and push this out right here against that. And then when it turns, it locks into park. Pull it out, put it back in, locks into park. Pretty simple. This tranny has been into once before, being that or it's had a torque converter replaced in it. It's got a pretty sexy orange fan here.
You know, that added some power to it.
Yeah. Kind of look in here and see. A lot of trash on the magnet. See all that.
That's really nasty.
Now this is a 2-wheel drive. It does have a shallow neck filter right here. 4-wheel drive filters, the necks are about this long. Some of the filters are a little thicker too, just depending on what brand it is. We got some 10mm nuts right here that on the alignment studs that when you put these on here, it lines everything up. And then the rest of these are 8mm. I'll get these off and then I'll explain basically where all this stuff is.
Probably could have had another hose in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's plenty of room. Now this here is your accumulator valve body right here that controls your shift feel. Right here. Get this off, flip this over, give you an idea what it's like. This is our two-stage systems. What they got is a valve and a spring right here that moves. And then there's another valve and a spring right here that moves. So the fluid has to push this valve moves, and lets fluid get in behind this valve and push it to soften your second gear shift, your third gear shift, and then your fourth gear shift.
Do that again. Which ones are which?
This is your 1, 2. I believe your 3, 4, and your 4th. Or excuse me, your 2, 3, and your 4th. Now this here is your reverse engagement control valve right here.
Look at that metal in there.
We always leave this spring out right here because it just lets it go into reverse really a lot quicker. These trannies have a little bit of a delay problem in reverse, and by leaving this spring out right here, it corrects that problem a bunch. So now this here is your solenoid pack right here. All the solenoids are built into this one unit right here. So if one goes bad, you have to replace this whole brick right here. Where on the 5R110s and stuff like that, they added solenoids all over the place so you can change individual ones. But the E40D and the 4R100 has one pack right here. So if one of them goes bad, you physically have to replace it. Each individual solenoids, you can see them there. Now this fluid was full of, this connector was full of fluid, so it has a problem in this connector. So we unplugged it, fluid come out of here, so it has all kinds of shorts just in the computer connector that plugs the computer into the transmission. So they'll do all kinds of things when they have that type of problem right off the bat. Now you see here we have some check valves here and here. Now in the later models they did add some here and here. So when you replace these parts, you want to really look at things if you're replacing parts. So these valve body gaskets too, they'll have 2 sets in a kit. You want to match them up really good. And a really easy way to tell what they look like is you'll have 2 holes here and you'll have another hole here, a third hole. So as long as you match a 2-hole to a 2-hole or a 3-hole to a 3-hole, you'll be fine. So just remember that when you're tearing one of these down and matching them up. And you also want to make sure you get your case gasket on the bottom and your valve body gasket on the top, because if you vice versa them, you'll have a leak right back here where this gasket is if you put them on wrong. You'll have a leak right back in here in your reverse circuit and have a delay in reverse. So you want to watch that. So this is your engine brake band servo right here that applies your band. Fluid gets behind here and pushes it. When I get the band out, I'll show you what it looks like. And then we had this 3-bolt plate that bolted back here on that plate. Just a second, we didn't show you. Now we go build these trannies back, we'll air test them through some of these circuitry holes here, here, here. There's another one down here, and there's another one down here. And then back in here where all this fluid is, there's actually one that applies this clutch right here too. This is your low reverse clutch right here. Let me see if I can blow some fluid. Now, you can see me blow air in here and see this piston work now. We install a lot of shift kits in these, and we've learned that this tranny has a reverse delay problem right off the bat. So this reverse stricter that comes in these kits right here, we leave them out. We don't put them in because I've installed them before, and the customer bring the vehicle back of causing a delay in reverse. We take it out and it cures the problem. So you do what you want to do, but that's our experience with them. Now, also too, I just wanted to show, I did check with this filter right here. These filters come with a seal on the neck already. And if you look down in here, when they put the service on it, they stacked 2 filter rings together like that. And when you bolt the pan down, it'll break the filter right through here when you do that if you ain't careful. So you want to make sure you pull that ring out of there and get that out of there, because that's where that goes. And when you put 2 of them in there, this bottom's out against the pan, and it'll break that, crack that right there if you ain't careful.
Dang, that's a good one. That's funny.
There's the second one right there.
Small things.
Yeah, it's the little stuff that'll get you. You can see all the different check balls here. Here, 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 and here. Now, the 3-hole valve body plate that I was showing you over there, if it has 3 holes, it will not have a check ball here. It'll have this trough sitting right here, but it will not have this check ball. If you put that check ball there, you cause a problem. So you really want to be careful. Mark your check balls really good, and look for that 3-hole plate gasket or whatever right there. Now we have our lockup ring right here on the end of the stator. Right here. It's a split cut ring. Do not leave it off. This tranny's been so hot that you can tell it's already been leaking out the front a little bit from the converter not locking up, boiling the fluid. You can see the trail of how it's trailed down through here and caused the dirt and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see it.
We'll get this apart. Sometimes you gotta work at it to get that out, but
Well, elbow grease.
get this pump apart here. Now this does have a shift kit pump spring in it already. I can see it in there. But I'll show you the difference between since we're already doing a few of these this week and last week, that I'll show you the difference if it Now, Ford has built this pump 4 times in its lifetime. They've changed it up. They did multiple versions of this. Now, this is a non-lockup or non-PWM style pump. It's just your standard lockup pump. It just comes on and off automatically. If you want to make lockup a little bit firmer, you can drill this cut plug out right here, and it'll firm it up lockup. And then your shift kit will come with a new spring that goes right here in this valve right here. Okay, now when you do a diesel or gas unit, they made these gears bigger or smaller depending on diesel or gas, and they made these holes smaller or bigger. The first gas design, the pump gear was really small and the holes were small, and then on the diesel, they didn't make the gear big enough, and so they made it 4 different times. They finally got it right on the 4R100. Great big old gear, big old feed holes to the pump to feed it. And then they went to where what they did is this clutch here comes out with a single style clutch unit here in the clutch. Well, on the 4R100s, they went to a PWM style and they removed this plug right here completely. And then they put a triple disc converter here where there's 3 clutches here instead of just 1. And then you can see the difference in the way the pump looks here. There's a hole, no hole here. And then I don't have a body. I got a body, but it's over there. But they also changed this right here. This is just flat through here. So they did change them up quite a bit. This pump here is totally wiped out. You can see the ruts in it from all the metal coming out of the torque converter. You can see it just wiped out the gear. All the grindings and stuff in it right there. We do a bunch of these, so I got a good pump here. You can kind of look at the difference in the gears. How smooth and shiny they look to a good pump where there's no wear. So, let's get into this a little bit deeper. This is your engine brake clutch right here, and you let off the gas. The engine brakes to slow you down. This is just a 2 clutch system. Now the 4R100 trannies, they did go to a pot metal style here where this is cast metal here, and they changed the teeth up on this drum right here because they have problems with them wearing and went to a lot bigger teeth. So a lot of upgrades to this tranny right here. This is your overdrive clutch. It is a 3 clutch system. It's had a little bit of wear issues with it too. Starting to really blister the steels and the clutches. You can see here is kind of what a decent clutch looks a little bit better, and then how it just starts cooking it. And where they'll chatter on the steel just like a standard clutch will. So they changed this up here too. This is a roller clutch. It's got springs and stuff in it and rollers, where they went to a sprag style and then they went back. They changed it up multiple times. So this is another problem area that they had. They had issues with this snap ring right here popping off too. The kit that we put in there has a double wrap snap ring where it doesn't come off anymore. This is a standard aluminum piston for your overdrive clutch, but on the 4R100s, they went to a bonded piston. Now the seals for this piston are in here. This is a bevel spring right here. It takes a special tool to put this back together. You can take it out, but it takes a tool to compress that. So you really can't do these at home unless you have that tool to try to rig you up something. So it has to compress that to get that snap ring in to hold it. But you can see the seals are down in here. for this piston here to where this piston is made on it. So it would take a different center support if you use this piston. So let's see if we can get this out of here. It does have that updated bearing style support, where before they got rid of the bearing here, it was down in here. Still kept with the metal rings. I wish they'd get rid of them, put some good rings in there, but they still doing that. Now this is your second gear clutches here. You can see there's basically there's just nothing left of the clutches there. So there's one that has something here. So you can just see what it looks like. So there's no set clutch clearances on these. I've done so much research on this clutch pack, it's turned you blue in the face. The main thing is when you build it back, if it's got a thick steel, thin, put it back that way. If it come with three thick steels, put it back that way. Don't try to make your own setup. Just do it the way it come out. And so this is the intermediate sprag. It's a bearing that spins to the left, locks to the right. You want to always check for wear in here. And you want to check around this drum right here for wear, for chatter, any type of chatter mark around that drum right here. This drum looks really good. So we can put a new sprag on it, new bushings on this drum, and be good to go. Now this is your third gear clutch here. When it shifts to third gear, this is what happens. So there's not much of third gear left at this clutch neither. So this tranny's really had a heck of a life. So you can see here, there's kind of a clutch, and then the rest of them, there's just nothing here. Just nothing here.
Wow.
So that's your third gear clutch. Now here's your engine braking band I was talking about that this servo went onto. Right here to the back side of the case I was telling you about. This part anchors in the case, and you got this that pushes on the band like this around this drum right here. Like that for engine braking. It does the same thing as this clutch here does too. It's just different style of braking. This clutch is an engine brake clutch. This is an engine brake band. Well, let's get down in here. It's got a full spline drum, really nice. A lot of them come in with a half spline, so we don't have to update the drum. So we got lucky there. Normally we do. Or somebody's already been in it before and took the drum out, put a gasoline drum in it. We get that a lot. So, but let's look and see what the Solenoid looks like. Well, it's been working too. So this tranny's gonna take it all and a little bit more. Now it still does have the diesel Planetary in it. A lot of them come in, there'll be gas ones in there. The shop that repaired it or whatever didn't spend the money to put the diesel one in there, put a gas one in there, which is aluminum one. So you want to look for wear points. Identifying wear points in a tranny is so critical. You can take it apart, put it back together 1,000 times, but if you can't look at something and tell that it's wore out, then you're in trouble, because it's so easy to put a worn part back in a tranny because there's so many wear spots that if you don't know where to look at, you're not going to see it. Now this does have an aluminum planet in the back, being that it's an early model. The later models had a steel planet, usually a 6-pinion too. So
Some of these snap rings are no joke. Especially for being so small.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot of times when other people's had them apart, they'll end up wearing the tips off these snap rings where you can't get them out sometimes, and my little tool can barely hook on them. So this is your one-way sprag back here in the back of the case for your low reverse section. And this here is your low reverse clutch. And it's even got some tarnish. So this old tranny's been through heck and back.
Wow.
And a little bit more, so we'll take it apart, put it back together with all nice clutches and a nice shift kit and stuff, with a triple disc converter to help the converter out, and get him back on the road. So if you need anything, give us a holler at Precision Transmissions. Have a good day.